Sydney Live with Ben Fordham,
Michael Smith.
and simulcast on michaelsmithnews.com.
Who is Michael Smith?
Michael Smith.
He is live in the studio this afternoon, and in fact, he's going to be live on the radio from next week, filling in for Chris Smith for a number of weeks, which is terrific. Michael Smith, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ben. Yeah, 3 weeks. Can't wait.
Starting Monday.
That's correct.
Terrific. So Smithy will be filling in for Alan.
That's it, yeah.
And so a bit of musical chairs going on, but you are going to be on 2GB for 3 weeks straight, which is just terrific.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Who would have thought?
All those years ago at TUE, who would have thought?
Once upon a time, you were the enemy across the road at the other joint.
Haven't they prospered?
And then I lured you in here bit by bit. Now we're infiltrating the rest of the station. Just fantastic. I'm very happy for you. That's great. So
Thanks,
Monday from midday, don't miss Michael Smith from Monday next week. Now, what do we do about this Hizbut at Tahrir? Because, you know, we all know about the Festival for Dangerous Ideas and the nutbags who wanted to get up there and make a speech about honour killings. But if you go through the history of all the different things that these guys say, I mean, on their website there's an article about the recent case of that father allegedly marrying off his 12-year-old daughter to a 26-year-old man. The article suggested that the practice of adult men taking child brides could be deemed morally acceptable if there was no coercion and if the girl was mature at age 12.
Mate, give me a break. There's one little exercise, a mental exercise I'd like you to try. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine the Festival of Dangerous Ideas or the ABC or Fairfax, any of that group, bringing out the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan and saying, how good is the idea that you should just run black people over or lynch them or get crosses burning?
That's a dangerous idea.
Why is it? What is the difference with the radical Islamists, with Hizbut Tahrir, and the things that they do as just normal? How the hell do we tolerate Islamism as a legitimate ideology and give it any sort of breathing space?
I made the same point the other night off air to someone while I was arguing that something had to be done about this speech that was planned before the thing was then cancelled. I made the same point. They said, the person I was talking to was saying, no, but it's supposed to be about dangerous ideas. And I said, yeah, but mass murder is a dangerous idea as well. Sexual assault is a dangerous idea. What, are you going to invite a pedophile up on stage to talk? Someone who goes around raping people, you know?
Utman Badar is a person who promotes paedophilia. Now, I've got an ACMA finding in relation to something I said on the radio a while ago, so I can say it with confidence. The Prophet Muhammad was a paedophile, a pederast, a sexual offender, a man who promoted the idea that it was okay to marry a 6-year-old and consummate the marriage when the little girl was 9. And that's written into their books. It's a part of the philosophy. I do not know how we allow those books, Ben, to be on bookshelves.
When you say written into their books, because there'll be people listening at the moment, it's in the Quran?
Absolutely.
What does it say?
Google my name, Michael Smith, at TUE, because the usual suspects went to town, when I said it last time on the radio, made a complaint to the Australian Communications and Media Authority saying you can't say anything bad about the Prophet.
And you won.
I won. Because it's factually correct.
Why is it? All right, explain this to me. Why is it that other nations have been able to ban Hizbut Tahrir and we don't?
Courage. Simple as that. You need politicians with fibre, with steel in their backbone to stare these people down and say there is no way that any aspect of your ideology is legitimate. I'm sorry, but you're banned. We are not going to have books about paedophilia and what have you as part of some legitimate philosophical or religious movement. It is not. It is illegitimate. It is illegal. And the whole idea that you could talk about any of those nations as having any sort of legitimacy or place in a modern Western democracy, it's an anathema, Ben. I mean, we shouldn't even be giving it the time of day to talk about it. I watched the ABC's The Drum yesterday. They treated it seriously, as if it was a debate that was okay to have, as if it might have one outcome A or one outcome B. There is no alternate outcome. You cannot allow people to propagate these sorts of ideas and develop a following of people who will carry them out.
Let me go to Mohammed, who's called in. Michael Smith is my guest. Mohammed, good afternoon.
Mate, what the heck do you think you're adding to the debate, Michael, when you come out and call the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, a pedophile?
Well, mate, what did he do when Aisha was 9 years old?
Hang on, relax. Let me talk, and then I'll deal with that. Okay, coming out and calling him a pedophile is absolutely ridiculous, mate. What do you think that's going to
Mohammed, hang on, Mohammed.
Hang on.
Mohammed.
What do you think in terms of the debate, except getting people upset and find out people who actually support a lot of what you guys are saying?
Okay, calm.
Mohammed, you just
hang
have
on,
to
hang
answer
on.
the
Michael
question.
and Mohammed, just stop for a moment. Mohammed,
You guys have got
if you don't stop, Mohammed, the call will be over because I just want everyone to calm down for a moment. Just calm down for a moment. Mohammed's now hung up. So we haven't cut him off. He's hung up. So you've clearly upset Mohammed.
Mohammed, I'm apologising for upsetting you. However...
Look, I can imagine, and I don't know, and I haven't read the Quran, right? I haven't.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people have got into it, and then the moment you discuss this, you have one person ringing up and saying, it says this, someone else says it doesn't say that. I can understand why someone, a peace-loving Muslim, would be upset hearing something like
I can't,
what you
Ben.
just said.
I can't because...
But I don't know what's in there, so you
Let me tell you.
Okay.
The little girl, Aisha, was 6 years old when she was married to this man. And the historical recordings, the Quran and what have you, record that in the language of the time he entered her house, 9 years old when he consummated the marriage. Now, that is one of the ideas that this mob, Hizb ut-Tahrir, promote, that it is okay to treat little girls in that way. It is not. And you simply can't allow into a civilised community even the debate.
So when
that
they
it is
say
okay.
entered her house,
Yeah,
that's
well,
somehow...
consummated the marriage, Ben.
And how do we know that that's what that means?
The scholars who talk about the Quran, talk about the historical writings of the Islamist movement, of the religion, are unequivocal on it, unanimous. And that's what the finding in ACMA said in relation to me. It was factually accurate to make that point, and it is a legitimate point, I think, of discussion to say, hang on a sec, that's what this religion says, that's what happens in many of the places where the Sharia is enacted completely, but it is absolutely unacceptable. And I don't see why we should resile from making the point clearly and unequivocally, because there are people here like this Hizb ut-Tahrir, like Mr. Badar, who would like to say, no, it is actually okay. As he says, if the little girl is mature, give me a break. If she's not 18, she's not 18.
We can't escape the fact that these comments have been made by Hizb ut-Tahrir on their website.
Correct.
I haven't read the Quran. I have read what they're saying on this website, so there's no doubt about that. And there are many other examples as well where they say things that they shouldn't be saying. The question is, though, should they be banned? I'm not 100% on that. I mean,
Ben,
do you ban something and force it underground, or do you... What do you do?
No, I think what needs to happen with the people who pursue that ideology is the same thing that happened with Christendom after the Dark Ages. You know, you had the Spanish Inquisition, all sorts of horrible things happened in the name of religion. There was an enlightenment and a reformation of the religion, and there was a separation of church and state in many of the countries that, were more and more developed. Now, that has not happened with this particular movement. Hizb ut-Tahrir and what have you would like to see it retained as it was all those years ago when Muhammad set the religion up.
Okay, let me move on to something else. The Royal Commission. What have you got for us? The latest on the Royal Commission into Union Governance and Corruption.
On much happier ground. I tell you what, there will be a shiver going up Julia Gillard's spine in a very big way. Because this week in Perth, a cheque was produced, and I've just given Ben a copy of it. That cheque was written in what year? You can see the date.
27th of the 3rd, 93.
1993. Now, Julia Gillard about then was given $5,000 that was put into a bank account, according to a guy who worked with Mr. Wilson, Bruce Wilson. She says that her bank can't produce records of what happened at the time. Now, the production of that cheque, which was found by Victoria Police and produced in the Royal Commission this week, proves that Victoria Police can do what she said she couldn't do, and that is produce original documents, banking documents, from the time in 1993. I can see a smile developing on your face, Ben. Why would that be?
No, it's only because it's one of these things that, we've been following this story for a long time, and you do get that sense that things are starting to get closer and closer to real action. But
this Royal Commission, mate, has got $56 million to spend between now and December. I know they have a large number of police seconded to it, and there is a hell of a lot of investigation going on behind the scenes. Now, people with a case to answer have a lot to fear, because this Royal Commission will get to the heart of what went on all those years ago. You'll
be on air on Monday, so all of these complaints that are coming through at the moment, you can call Michael Smith. Yeah, your number on Monday from midday is...
Let me be clear about this, Ben, 131873. This is historical. This question has been determined by the Communications and Media Authority and the finding was in my favour.
And Michael Smith will be happy to discuss it from midday Monday,
No,
131873.
we'll give it a break.
Good on you, mate.
See you,
Thank you
mate.
very much. When it's on in Sydney, it's on with Accor Hotels. With over 30 hotels to choose from right across New South Wales, Accor has the perfect hotel for you. The Accor Hotel of the Week is the Mercure Sydney. Get out, go play, explore Sydney in winter. Stay at Mercure Sydney for 2 nights and receive an amazing 20% off. There's so much stuff to do, whether it's around... You know that at Darling Harbour at the moment, they've got ice skating as part of the Winter Festival Village. I saw it the other day. Get clicking and you could win a night's accommodation, dinner and a family ice skating pass with Accor's Hotel of the Week, the Mercure Sydney. If it's on in Sydney, it's on with Accor Hotels. Book now at accorhotels.com/NSW, official sponsor of the NRL, LTPS 1404314.
Now, on this debate, and this is something that perhaps I shouldn't be sticking my head into, but like many things I do. I'm very proud of working for this radio station that employs me in Sydney, and of course we go out on a major network across the country. The radio station that I've been employed by since December 24, 2001 is radio station 2GB. In the 13 years I've been here, I've worked hard along with all my colleagues, and we've had some success. Spearheaded by Alan Jones at breakfast, I do the mornings. Chris Smith's been with us all the way through. Ben Fordham joined us more recently to do drive, and we've got Ross Greenwood on the team now, and Brian Wilshire and Stephen Price, Andrew Bolt, and Michael McLaren, and the other people that work very hard here. And next week, another bloke will work hard filling in for me. His name's Luke Grant. Now, I value the worth of this station in the community. And sometimes I've been guilty of tarnishing its reputation. For that, I've apologised. Yesterday, Ben Fordham spent part of his program distancing himself from the comments made earlier by a guest on his program, Mike Smith, who regularly appears on his program. I want to go on record today and completely distance myself from Mr. Smith's comments as well. This station and the people that run this station are fair and decent people. And while extremists from the Muslim faith think it's okay to marry off children, as we've seen in our very own court case here in Australia, that's one person allegedly marrying off his daughter to a 26-year-old adult. One person. But I hope and I believe the majority of Australian Muslims don't share that belief. And to suggest otherwise is simply ridiculous. And I'm insulted by it. And I speak out against it. This radio station's made up of a whole range of opinions. You'll hear Alan Jones say one thing between 5:30 and 9 and me say completely the opposite between 9 and midday. And that doesn't mean we're not mates. People misinterpret that. Would you have us say the same thing all day? Chris Smith says many things I don't agree with. Ben Fordham says many things I don't agree with, and vice versa. But yesterday I was insulted by what was said on this great radio station, and I've got to speak out against it. It's not a matter of stifling speech. It's a matter of being fair and decent. And this radio station's always about being fair and decent, in my opinion. Whether it's Alan, whether it's me, or whether it's anyone else. We're about being fair and decent. And I'll always stand up for being fair and decent. I mightn't always live up to those expectations myself, and when I get it wrong, I'll apologise for not being fair and decent. Anyway,